Hello there, welcome to episode 4 of Polyxo, the City of Gems, my Songs of Six playthrough series for version 63. We're working ourselves towards making this city a center of tourism and of wealth. For now, our newest accomplishment was unlocking cut stone, which is quite a big thing, because now we can go for the real monumental builds. Also, the grain harvest is just currently happening, therefore the bakery should kick into gear pretty soon, or at least I hope so. These are all good news, because once this city got bread, they will also have happiness. But I do see that bread here is black, so we need to change that. This is always the sign that you don't have any crates allocated. There we go, 10 of them. So, I don't know, I have the slight feeling as if 10 would be not enough. We want to produce bread in large quantities, so let's go for 30 crates. That's still a low amount. Good. So, the thing that I want to implement for today, guards, security, law and order, all these wonderful things. Because I really don't know how to deal with the saber-tooth problem down there, except for having guards. Also, I discovered that guards are not locked behind any technology anymore. I vaguely remember that the previous version had guards and stuff like that locked behind science. We don't have that problem anymore. I think that's really cool, because concepts like having guards in your city, that's not exactly something new, isn't it? And it's also not too innovative. So, say, did I turn this thing off? I think I did. So let's turn it on. What do we have here? Oh, people are suffering from exposure. That's not great, but well, that does mean we don't have enough hearths. It's always a sign of having not enough hearths. So what does this map show me? Is this a coverage map? Okay. Actually, we're all good. If I am interpreting this this thing here correctly, that is. Say, we can upgrade that thing now? Holy moly! I love it. Upgrades everywhere. That's new systems. That really makes the game feel a lot more cool. So, auto-employ, dear AI, why are you not working? Deactivated, insufficient workers available. I'd like to. So, why do we have no employments here happening? What did I miss with that bakery? So, yeah, alright, I actually deactivated it. So if you click that thing and it's not lit anymore, your building is deactivated. Today I learned. So, that's good. Anywho, we're producing bread now, and we're also seeing some case of homelessness yet again. I bet it's going to be, well, where is it at? Oh, well. Usually the occasional case of homelessness is not so much to be taken seriously. Good. So I'm digressing. Let's get on over to law. First off, we're going to set up a guard post. The guard post will be defending us against crime. So here we go. Radius grows by a lot the larger you make it. Oh, this UI upgrade. It's magnificent. Oh man, I do love it. In the previous versions, this was not so easy to discern. And we need cut stone for this, so that's pretty cool. I'm going to go and slap it down somewhere here, I think. I mean, we will have some expansion into that direction still, so probably here, huh? So the resource we don't have for that is armor. We won't be producing armor anytime too soon, so I'm just going to order a custom amount. I mean, we are earning some denaries by now, that's a pretty good thing. But yeah, as you see here, we're far from being capable of buying the amount necessary for this thing. But seeing how much of a difference the sizes made, I mean, the radius was 45, 60-ish, and then 180. Sorry, but I'll take the full package. I'll rather save up the money for that, because it's pretty clear for me that this is, for me, the best deal that I can take. I feel like the second option should be a little bit better. 120 or something, and the first rate, I don't know. The balance between these three feels a little bit weird. Or, I should rather say, I wouldn't see any reason to not to take this tier 3 thing in the current situation. Alrighty, so the denaries aren't growing fast enough, so let's get over to our export center. So currently, we're exporting furniture if we ever had too much of it. We're exporting stone if we ever had too much of it. What we can export now is the cut stone, because at the end of the day, you know, that's just money that we can go for. Or, oh gosh, this is always whatever. Luckily, there's this menu where you can just look up whatever you're looking for. Sometimes this menu still makes my head spin even after playing this game for what feels like years now. But well. This magnifying glass tool here is it's a blast. It's always helping me so much when I know what I'm looking for, but I don't know in which menu I should look for it. It's really, really good. So, I don't see any bread in my stockpiles, but that could be only because it's all getting eaten immediately. So, let's check it out. The cut stone has a buy price of 11, and the regular stone has a buy price of 5. So, all in all, we're going to export, like, not everything, but we're going to export like 90%. I want to keep a tiny little bit of that for myself, but beyond that, I'm not interested. We're also going to lower the total amount of crates, so the trade will kick into gear for, sooner. This is a really, really nice resource to be exported, you know. We still need to wait until we have 250 of these together, but whatever. So let's go into super fast mode and see how things develop. You see, in 6, I often do give a goal of sorts, and then I just let them roll. Alright, we're not seeing enough wood income. You know, I haven't set up a woodcutter yet, have I? Nah. We still have not enough workforce. That's a big problem, but that problem is typical for the game, you know. Oh, clear rock. Oh, silly me. Fell tree, of course. Mouse, behave. So, yeah, here we go. That should do the trick. We only have 7 odd jobbers currently, but they'll get that done. We need that wood now to ensure that there's a steady supply of bread, because bread will make us so happy. You see the happiness rate going up? The only thing I don't see going up is my food ratio. That's making me a tad bit nervous. And that's the thing, I won't expand my my population until I have filled the food clock a tad bit more. Because the less food, the less happy your folks are. It's just like that. I love the realism in that. You know, it's medieval times. Food means safety. Food means survival. If there's lots of food, you feel safe. If there's not lots of food, you're starting to feel uneasy. 6 has one of the most impressive simulations going on that I've ever seen that reflect the total picture of a city, in my opinion. Don't know how you guys are seeing that, but I really keep being impressed by that game, okay? So we're fast forwarding here an entire year almost, but here goes. The grain harvest, the big grain harvest. Finally, we're going to see the full production scale here. So last year we had a production of 121. This year we're going to bank with 2,400. My amount of odd jobbers is to 0, so we're going to authorize a few immigrants, but there are not too many asking for authorization. So let's take a moment to reconsider what's going wrong with this city. So I do see that, well, law. We're working on that, my friends. We're working on that. Don't you fret. Alright, so turns out until I have fulfilled my guard post dreams and all these things, we're not going to see too much of a change. But at least our exports are working quite well. I should definitely store more of that grain and probably start exporting whatever we have as a surplus. It might be not much money, it's just $1, but you know, what is it good for if it just goes bad in my warehouses? So, grain has a spoilage rate of 25%, so we're going to export the last 25%. This is not a exact measure, but it does do the trick in keeping your economy somewhat stable. We have a cold plummet. No, we're a cold snap. This is the first time that I see these mechanics really in motion. Maybe we had it in this run before and I didn't pay attention to it. This is for sure the first time that I am actually paying attention to it. So, as you see, buying these things in the early game is a tad of a pain. You know, it takes a while until you have finally pilfered together the money. We could, of course, go for much more aggressive trade here, but I don't feel like doing so. I rather take the safe and stable approach, where we just do our thing over the course of the time. If I have learned one thing with this game, then rushing is has been rarely good for me. So, there we go. The plague has been discovered. Great. I hope it's not in our town. Damn. Alright. So I do see how this game slowly develops more and more into something really, really cool. Alright, I really hope... no, not there yet. We need to export a little bit more. But luckily, our industries are working in that regard. The only thing that I don't get together here is a larger population count currently. Oh, we're being extorted now. Yeah, this sucks, because this lets our money go net negative for a while. But, you know, we are not in any shape to fend off any attackers. So we need to do a little bit of a change of plans here, because it'll take a while until the guard post is finished. So I want to set up, not scaffolds, I want to set up a little dungeon in between. We do need money for that as well, but what can I do? So first things first, the dungeon needs some walls. I do love the idea to have the dungeon in the vicinity of the stone quarry. Just such a fitting picture. And here we go. So a couple of doors in there. And I'm going to keep the interior rather minimalistic today. We're going to set up one cell. I don't want to have more costs than that currently. We don't have the metal for that either currently, so I am only placing down blueprints for the sake of placing down blueprints currently. I mean, it's not the end of the world. These extortions, they just keep happening because I don't have any army, so stuff like that. I'm bound to have that happening on me. And the fishers have bad catches, alright. So I do see a lot more challenge these days in this game's development. I like that. I really, really do like that. So yeah, now we just have to wheeze forward until our exports have saved the day. I mean, it does seem as if my food situation is stable. It does also seem as if I am not able to bring up enough workers for the current situation. That's bothering me the most. But, you know, this is by far the most difficult phase in the game, in my humble opinion. Simply because you are currently really incapable of defending yourself, as you saw there. There was really not much that I could have done. Setting up an army at this point of the game is really, really nuts to do. I don't know how to do it properly without investing all your money early on into that. Basically stalling your entire city development only to fight off a couple of dudes that want to pick on you. But beyond that, well, it is okay. It is okay. We're slowly losing people here to, I don't know, probably diseases. The game's readout on the death numbers is sometimes a little bit hard to perceive. We are on negative workers now, that's bad. So let's see what we can do about that. I can, under no circumstances can I reduce workers in the food business. But where I can reduce workers is at the furniture business. Yes, this slows my money gain, but at the end of the day, it's not as important as other things. Yeah, being extorted sucks, but it's often happening in the early game, and it's best to just chew through it. Oh, and we had an accident, alright. I was just so sad that we literally failed in the last few meters before I had enough money to get the thing down. So I'm going to fast forward for real here until we can actually do something again. Alright, so I ordered the last bits of metal that we require for the dungeon, and I also have already imported the armors. I have paused the job, so it's not getting done off camera while we're not watching. So we're going to get us some guards now. That's a real big step forward, and it'll provide safety for the city. It'll also provide people that need to work there, but or people that are bound to this place now, but that's just life. We're going to reduce the amount of workers here again, because, you know, I really don't need that huge amount of workers in the stone area. Where does all the cut stone go to, though? Do we export it all? I thought I had configured that like more like this. Weird. Alright, slavers hitting town. We currently have no slaves for sale, but now that we have a working guard, we could actually have slaves that we want to sell if we really want to, you know. It's a possibility. Yeah. The thing is, the moment you have a dungeon, you get to decide what to do. If you keep your prisoners, or if you sell them, or whatever, it's up to you. But what's most important, we should have now, seeing some... Let's see, the crime rate should go down. I really hope it does. And let's see, I'm not done yet with the whole law park. We are also, yeah, let's go for some scaffolds as well. Oh, a stock, that's new. Oh, man. So many new things. And all bakery is not looking well. I think I need to reorder materials for repairs quite badly. So let's bring up some romantic and fun things. Gallows, chopping blocks, and of course decorations, you know, for fear. I love how medieval this game goes. So this is going to be an expandable place, of course, you know, that's why I'm setting up things only here. We do have some investment in terms of wood and furniture, but this is really by all means no big deal. Let's chop some more trees and we should be good to go. So, housing issues, alright. I still haven't fully learned to read that here. So, 5 people are homeless. I really don't know. Huh. Well, we're just going to pick up some houses and spam a few more, I'd say. And also, I am considering lately that I should be issuing some goods to my folks here. This might be increasing the happiness as well. Alright. But a lower crime rate is nothing that comes from one day to another. We employ now all 25 in our bakeries. Alright. Production boost. I love that. So, let's see. I'm pretty sure that my janitors... Where is my janitor at, actually? Dude, where's my janitor? Is that the only janitor in town? If so, that explains a lot. Alright, so, yeah. It's no longer in the radius of the last janitor. Just like I thought. So, you know, More workers to be bound. It's always like that. Let's place it down here. Because the effectiveness of this building is suffering a lot. 73% degradation already. Yikes. That's quite a lot. Way too much. Alright, let's buy us a small stack of metal. You know, I need to improve on these constantly. And let's hope that the janitor's getting done real fast. Putting an end to all that degradation. Ah, man, you don't pay attention to these things for a moment, and all of a sudden your bakery looks like it's going to collapse in a minute. Jeez. But on the other hand, I do see that this bakery is not keeping up with the grain production. I see that as a good thing, because that means we have more grain production than processing capacity. Altogether, a good combination. Alrighty, so let's hope that the janitor's going to repair this place. Yeah, here we go. Degradation's already going down. Sweet. That's been quite unnerving for me. So let's see how the law situation has developed. Crime, 0%. Yes. So that does make the people feel safer. What does managed law mean? I know that menu. It looked differently in the past. Alrighty. Anywho, the good point here is we're getting more and more people that want to live in Polixo, because Polixo is a safe city to be. We did that. We made it happen. So law is a pretty nasty pot because it always has so many demands at once, you know? You need metal, you need armor, you need different buildings, you need cut stone, obviously, by now even, and you need it all at once. That's the worst part about it, you know? And you see there how costly that darn gear is. But it is as it is. Ah, good thing that I just bought the armor. So Overlord is going to extort us one more time. I'm so happy that you can't go net negative. If not, my city would have been in ruin several times in the past already. So let's see how the situation develops. I do know that I have picked up a lot of extra workers currently, but I also have two things. A lot of extra work and a lot of extra production here once that bakery is fully into motion, you know. We got this thing for a reason. And if it's not degraded like that, it should also produce way faster. If I remember correctly, degradation directly translates to slower production rates. I'm not 100% sure about that anymore, though. Anywho, the masonry. We really could kick that up a little bit, but on the other hand, it's a bit of a difficult situation currently where I actually would like to crank up the science next so we can set up more services, you know? It's all about providing a wide arrangement of services for your people early on to get yourself through the early stages. So what about the homelessness? I'm not really able to read that thing anymore. Old mover, odd jobbers mover, overlay. So in the old overview, it was way easier for me to determine where the homelessness was actually occurring. Now I just need to take a guess, but whatever. Maybe I'm just too dumb reading it. That could be also the case. Luckily, Songs of Six is not a complicated or complex game at all. No, it's just me. Jokes aside, I'm just slapping up more buildings wherever I see that we're currently living, because I can already foresee that this is going to be important for us due to the fact that the laboratories here, you know, I'm already putting them into plural because I know I will be having more than one of these. So, in short, more people will need to live here one way or another. So, it's fine to get it done already before it gets requested. But I do realize that my workforce count is really letting me down a lot. This is also because the bakery is draining workforce like crazy, but also because we are, you know, boosting up the production rates at many different fronts. But mostly it's the... I mean, we started with 0 workers here, and now we're at 36, you know? But the good news, food stockpiles are finally going net positive. You know, I've had a long phase now where my food stockpiles were developing into a negative trend, and I didn't like that at all, you know? Because if your food stockpiles are heading towards a slight negative, that always means that further immigration is something in your city that you need to be very careful about. It's, your city ain't sustaining it, obviously, so I'm quite happy about that. What I'm not so happy about are these constant extortions making Polyxo develop way slower than I'd like it to see. I'm really suffering from all that extra workforce pressure that we got. We're again into net negative. I don't want to unemploy the quarrymen. I also don't want to unemploy the masons. This is a typical situation in the early game where you are, you know, suffering from the low amount of workers that you have currently available. I'm going to reduce the amount of guards in the guard post for now, because I don't see the high necessity of that, you know? I really don't see the high necessity of that. We could, of course, sell all prisoners away as slaves. That would be also ruling out that problem a little bit for us, with big profits. But, I don't see the people of Polyxo being positive about measures like that. Oh, well, I really do need some scientific advancements. So what can we do? I got the ration maker, but I cannot research the tavern. That's a tragedy, because that would really do a lot for our cultural development. But sadly, we're not there yet. I could research pottery. Well, that would give us the ability to do pottery. Oh, the physician. Oh yeah, this is what we're going to go for. The physician is in so far super interesting because it will yield more happiness for the people again. You know, more health, more happiness. It's a very direct relationship between these things. I think here in the services, there you go, healthcare is an entire bar that's currently not even partially fulfilled. The other alternative would be arenas, but that's way more of a scientific investment there, you know, 1,800 versus a meager 500. So we're going to pick that up. So I also don't see me finishing that physician during this episode, but let's see what the actual costs will be. We need tools for that. Yeah, not so good. We have to bring up another order for that. Of course. But we can at least design the building already while we're waiting for our money to show up, you know? No need to waste time here. So, let's see. There we go. Physicians building. Workbench gives us physicians and services. And the shelves give this service quality. Alright. So, well, let's see. As a matter of fact, I don't want to make half measures with this workshop. I actually want to put it up with a certain effectiveness, so let's see how it goes like that. I'm also keeping the game on a fairly high speed in the background because, you know, we have to earn that money somehow. And I figure that this is a great way to do so. Oh dear. So yeah, just like I feared, we're now at the point where the game's noping me out in terms of quality. Yeah, just like I thought. We have to remove one of those workbenches. I was afraid this might be necessary, but whatever. So the optimization of these buildings in this game is a art in itself, I think. Alright, I think this is going to work. It costs us 98 tools. This is a really, really costly thing. But, you know, I personally like to have my projects in my site already, because, you know, it helps to know which direction you want to develop yourself towards to, you know. We're also going to set up another export depot. Now I remembered that I can't just control left click them at the beginning of the episode. I had forgotten even that. I took a little bit of a break with that game, okay? But luckily muscle memory is coming back. Okay, my good friends, that's that's another person dying by animals. We are at the end of this episode. I'm quite happy with where we got. The food stockpiles are filling up. It seems like the industry is now fully geared up. It does seem as well as if the bakery is willing to consume ever more workers, but at this point, it's an okay relationship. Because, you know, we employ workers to make more food. That means these generate more carrying capacity for the city for even more workers, so it's fine. It doesn't bother me. Anywho, drop me your comments down below. It's been my pleasure. And we're going to continue next episode with some Physician, I hope. And let's see where this will lead us next. Thumbs up would be deeply, deeply appreciated. Songs of Six is a bit of a niche game, therefore not too visible, so do what you can by maybe even recommending it to a friend. I don't know. Knock yourself out. If you want to support the channel, just subscribe, and if you want to stay notified with all the stuff I do, hit the bell button. There is a playlist link in the description box thingy down there if you want to see the entire Polyxo series, if this was the first one you saw. And yeah, that's all I had to say. Thanks for watching, hope you're coming back again, and have a wonderful day.